When we started this journey in Santa Barbara and met everyone on the Vitamin Angels team,
everything about this capsule, there's a reason why it's that way.
There was a lot going on. I think in the beginning, all the uncertainty was really exciting because I'm so used to having like a script and a crew that I pick and locations I get to film at.
What's hard for people to conceive is just how malnourished it really looks.
Literally, I just walked down the streets in a comfort blanket. When all this was happening and I was meeting all these people and everything was kind of overwhelming, I was really excited and like, yes, I have no control for once, you know.
I used to not think much of vitamins. In fact, when I was told about this documentary project, I was told, you know, hey Joel, we want to shoot a documentary in Peru and it's about vitamins. And I was like, the Peru part sounds great. I don't even own any vitamins. I looked around the house and the closest thing I could find was a half a bottle of Tylenol and tequila. We are leaving Vancouver in like, oh gosh, like 4 hours.
What does it take to get to Nagaland? 5 flights, 16 hours of driving, and you show up here, and before you know it, you're holding on for dear life, trying not to fall off the side of a mountain. 3 days total, just to get to the first place to help. Here in the bowels of India, thousands of miles away from any civilization familiar to me or anyone else here, because only 6 years ago was it even open for anyone outside of Nagaland to come in.
They come from the organization's name is Vitamin Angels. So they are angels who have come to meet you.
We're showing up and seeing mothers that are like flocking out of their houses to come meet just at once every 6 months to make sure that their kids will just be a little bit healthier, a little bit safer, a little bit stronger, or maybe just survive. It's not just making sure they play sports better, it's just making sure that their kids are alive in 10 years, that their kids aren't blind.
If they go blind, what happens to them then?
Many who go blind because of vitamin A deficiency die within a period of 12 months.
Really?
Really. But now with vitamin A coming in, there's this completely different perspective on child survival.
Our commitment is to getting the vitamins to the kids, for the kids. Vitamin Angels is in 50 countries today, and we're working with hundreds of organizations. You know, they're already doing the work. They're already really committed. They're already in these communities. And we're saying, look, you're already doing things for these women. We're going to just help you do something else. It's going to help your work move forward in a much more dramatic way.
Being from North America, I didn't quite understand what this kind of malnutrition that these children were dealing with was like. And these kids, they're so small, the ones that aren't receiving the right amount of vitamins. Every time you see a kid that you're like, oh, he looks like he's 4 years old, you ask him how old he is, and he's like, I'm 9, and you're shocked. Basically, you have to double what you think their age is. They're just not growing properly.
These are rascally ones. Beware.
This is a population, an indigenous population, which is really discriminated against, and many of the women and the children living here will never come down into the city below. They spend their whole lives in these small communities, and the only thing that they're able to grow up here at this elevation is potatoes. The women and children are eating potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the micronutrients, the multivitamins, and the prenatal vitamins that we're distributing here are extremely important. They're making a really big impact.
Parti kipi compañera mana anki nyai phawa jaygo nak anki na puri nim pinoka kipi de contact khabarne chiku jaygo na garang hinashpam compañera nisho diaria wata kanchkilach nim pore wata sokta kilach akhna nim pore mana pore denchu anki chiku jay pinal compañera
Okay, so I kind of get what Peru and India's programs are like. So what's the problem in the US? You know, we have food. I've gone to food banks before. I see what programs kind of look like. They explained I'd be going to 3 out of the 30 states that Vitamin Angels deals with in the US. You know, here we have all these superstores where you can go and get food and clothes, and that's exactly what Vitamin Angels does. They team up with people who are already helping mothers and kids. And I think after we saw, you know, how they fit in from like an American perspective, it made a lot more sense.
Well, my name is Anna. I have 3 kids, 2 girls, and this is my baby boy. What are you drawing? Tell him.
My name is this.
Nicely done. I want them to grow up healthy. You know, that's why I give them vitamins, have a good future, career, to be somebody in life. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Good morning, sir.
The strongest connection I had were with the people who worked in the communities and on the ground and worked to help make partnerships like Vitamin Angels happen and help the people in need. There's something so selfless about all of them, no matter where we were. I mean, we were in the South one day and in Queens the other. They all had this sort of community and family unit about them. Every morning I looked forward to waking up and going and greeting them and kind of going through their rituals with them, because I think there's something really beautiful about mornings, no matter where you are.
When you think about the differences or the similarities, you know, the thing that strikes me the most is like the kids still dance in front of the camera the same ways. There's not a difference here. You know, you're still chasing around kids. They're still teasing you. You wonder what would happen to those kids if you weren't here, you know?
The people that we're encountering are showing amazing appreciation for the work that Vitamin Angels is doing. Some of them literally walk for 2 hours just to meet up, to pick up their vitamins.
I think that the reason they're accepting help is because it's true, honest help, and it's coming from people who just want nothing more than to make sure that kid heals properly, to make sure that he has the opportunity to dream of becoming something. Some of these people you ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And that sort of idea is just beyond their comprehension. But when you remove the survival factor, when it's not a question of, I just want my kid to grow up and be alive and be healthy, and it's more of, oh, well, I know they're going to grow up and be healthy, so I hope they become a lawyer someday, or a doctor, or a filmmaker. Removing that question of survival opens up an entire world.
After thinking about it a little, I realized that Vitamin Angels delivering vitamins is not so much about giving these kids day-to-day health. It's more about giving these kids a future. I no longer think of vitamins as just for optimal health. I look at them as something that can be extremely necessary in the right circumstance, and I'm just so happy that there are companies out there that care about these kids that are getting left behind.
I don't think I realized how personal this project became. You know, I think I got really attached to these places, and I think it planted a seed in me that I want to go back. If anything, you know, this experience has taught me that no matter where you are, once we strip away all the things that we get distracted with, at our core, we do want to help others, and we do want to be kind.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, 吃下来。Bye-bye， 吃的。Bye-bye。Bye-bye。Very nice. Feel asleep.